So we have to find the missing part. What I'm always going to do is I'm going to start out with my division box. I'm going to plug in what I have. The dividend is our large number. That goes inside the box. Our divisor is what we're dividing by, or our smaller group. It goes outside the box. And the quotient is how many small groups can we make. So this is just a typical division problem. Looking at 27, I'm going to count by 25. That's kind of close, so just see how close I can get. So 25, 50, 75, 100, 125, 150, 175 is 7. But that's going to be too much. So I'm going to back it down to 6. Let's try 6. 7 times 6 is 42. 6 times 2 is 12 plus 4 is 16, which is 162. That's going to go underneath here. And when we subtract that, we're left with 10. I forgot to put that it was 6 times up here, so I'll put my 6 up there. So now I'm going to bring down my 8. And how many times will 27 go into 8? I'm going to guess, counting by quarters again, 25, 50, 75, 100. I'm going to guess 4 times. So I'm going to go over here where you all can see and do 27 times 4. 7 times 4 is 28. 4 times 2 is 8 plus 2 is 10, which is 108, which again is 4 times. I'm going to put my 4 up here. 4 times 27 is 108. There is not a remainder. And so my answer for my quotient is 64. For number 2, I already made my box. My divisor goes outside the box. That's my number of small group. I'm sorry, that's how many's in a small group. That goes here. My quotient is how many small groups I can make. That goes on top, which is 39. So I have to find the dividend, which is my inside number. Well, we know we can take the top times the outside, and we can find the inside, right? So all we have to do is take 87 times 39. Doesn't matter which way you set it up. 9 times 7 is 63. 9 times 8 is 72. 72 plus 6 is 78. Bring down my placeholder. 3 times 7 is 21. That's a 1. 3 times 8 is 24, plus 2 is 26. I add 3 and nothing, 8 and 1, 7 and 6 is 13, 1 and 2 is 3, so my dividend is 3,393. This one's probably one of the harder ones for you all. We have a dividend, which is our inside number, our large group of 3283. And then we have our quotient, which is our answer, how many small groups. And so we're finding it out, the divisor, which is how many's in a small group. Well, I know some of y'all know that it's 67 times something equals this. Well, that's kind of hard to do because we really don't know our 67. So the opposite approach of multiplication is just division. So over here, we can bring over the 3,283, and then we can put 67 outside, and this is going to get us the number that we need. Looking at 67, you can either round it up, or again, you can cover up that last number. So you're looking at how many times 6 will go into 32. I know it's about 5. So over here, I'm going to do 67 times 5. 7 times 5 is 35. 6 times 5 is 30, plus 3 is 33. I've got too much. That's too much. 5 is too many. So I'm just going to do 67 times 4 real quick. 7 times 4 is 28. Carry my 2. 6 times 4 is 24, plus 2 is 26. So that's 268. I know it's kind of hard to see there, 268. So it's 4 times. It is 268. 8 minus 8 is 0. Regroup. 12 minus 6 is 6, which is 60. I'm going to bring down my 3. That's a 60 is real close to 67. Again, I just know whenever it's real close, when I have a remainder that's real close, it's usually 9. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see what 67 times 9 is. 9 times 7 is 63. 9 times 6 is 54. Plus 6 is 60. That is the 603 that I'm looking for. So it is 9 times. So I'm going to put my 9 up top, which is 603. I subtract, no remainder. So my answer for my divisor is 49. My dividend goes inside. My divisor goes outside. And I'm just going to count by 50s. 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 350. It looks like 7 times. So I'm going to take 49 times 7. 9 times 7 is 63. 7 times 4 is 28. Plus 6 is 34. So this is going to be 343. And I'm using it 7 times. So I'm going to subtract. 7 minus 3 is 4. 7 minus 4 is 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. I'm not even going to mess with that. Bring down my 3. So how many times will 49 go into 343? Well, I've already done this one. It's 343 right here. So it's 7 times. 7 times 49 is 343. I don't have a remainder. So my answer is 77 for the quotient. My divisor goes on the outside of the box. That's my small group. My quotient is my answer. How many small groups? That goes on top. This time I have to find the inside number. I know that I can multiply my quotient times divisor and get the answer. So I'm just going to do 326 times 28. 8 times 6 is 48. 8 times 2 is 16. Plus 4 is 20. 8 times 3 is 24. Plus 2 is 26. Put in my placeholder. Get rid of these regroupers. 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times 2 is 4. Plus 1 is 5. 2 times 3 is 6. Add these up. 8, 2, 6 and 5 is 11. Regroup my 1. 1 and 2 is 3. Plus 6 is 9. So we have 9,128. That is an 8. My pencil, I'm going to go sharpen it right now. Told you. Last one, dividend. That's the large group. It goes inside the box. My quotient is my answer. How many small groups? That goes on top. And we have to find this outside number, our divisor. How many is in a small group? Again, this is kind of a hard one. We don't think this way. We know it's 16 times something. Again, the opposite of division, the opposite of multiplication is division. So what we can do is we can bring over our 6752 and divide it by 16, and that will get us the number that we're looking for. So how many times does 16 go into 67? Excuse me. I'm going to guess 4 times. 16 times 4 is 24. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 is, that'd be 64. So I'm going to put 2 above. I'm going to subtract out 64 from 67. 7 minus 4 is 3. And I'm going to bring down my 5. You can do 6 minus 6. I just usually leave it blank. How many times will 16 go into 35? Well, I know it's 2 because 16 times 2 is 32. You can check my math if you want to. 2 times 16 is 32. I subtract. 5 minus 2 is 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. I'm just going to leave that alone. And then I'm going to bring down my last two. Oh, look, I've got 32 again. I already know it's twice. So I'm going to put my twice up here. 2 times 16 is 32. I don't have a remainder. So my answer for my divisor is 222.